Action. All right.
Again, let's do this because I'm going to have to shit again, Tony.
Oh, no. Oh, boy. Hey, everybody. Welcome to a very professional episode of This Is the Future.
Unfortunately.
He really does have to go poop. I was like, we're not. We're going to record.
Yeah. I feel bad starting it off like that, but, it's, it's morning, like it's 11:30. That's morning, right?
Yeah. It is if you work in the service industry anyway.
That's right. And in my head, everyone does. Hi, Tony. How are you?
Everyone does. Why are you wearing a suit? You're clearly a janitor.
Yeah, clearly.
Get out of that Range Rover, you fucking electrician. I like that idea. How am I? I'm good. Let's not bullshit here. We're both frustrated. We're like 2 weeks behind schedule because neither you or I could figure out what the fuck is going on between Google and Android.
So we have this new podcast recording system, Riverside, and it's good and all, but we used it twice for 2 episodes, and it was working fine, and apparently it does not like Apple, and that's what I have. I have a MacBook. Tony does not, so it's fine on his end. But it does not like me at all against Apple products.
Nope.
What the motherfucker?
So here's what I've learned about technology working with it, selling the crap for 9 years. Notoriously, Apple and Android don't play well together. So for any of you, just here's a quick tech tip. Most of you probably already know this, but keep doing your software updates. Long story short, that's the only way that Apple and Mac or Apple and Google might work together is if you do your software updates. We don't even know how this is working right now. This has just took 3 weeks of fucking around to finally get another episode. So this episode was hard fought.
It was.
I'll just blame that. That's why my hair looks amazing, because we're that stressed. That's bullshit. My hair always looks like this. But in any case, yeah, it was. It's a pain in the ass. Technology is a pain in the ass, and we don't know shit about it. I don't want to know anything about it. But thank God we know enough to record. And we might be kind of dumb when it comes to this shit, but we're fucking committed. Like, seriously, like the amount of time we spent, like, you can't imagine. We should have filmed all the bullshit it took for us just to do this right now. Talking to each other, getting feedback, being on speakerphone, like going deaf from bad signals. So all that brought you
and
this.
Most people would have given up.
Enjoy it.
I don't know if that's true or not, but
stupid. We're dumb. But anybody who gives up doesn't have a podcast with 3 or 4 followers. So hey, don't quit on your dreams.
That is right, man. Damn right.
Damn straight. But yeah, so I'm okay because we're okay. But I did want to say something. I don't know if it's because I smoke too much weed. I'm sure I smoke enough. But I went to an open mic last week, and well, I sat down and I watched the performers, and then the mic ended, and I forgot I forgot to sign up.
No way.
Yeah.
So you just watched the whole entire open mic as a comedy fan.
I guess. I did laugh. I bought a soda, I had a good time, but I was like, hey man, when I thought about it, I was like, I looked at the list. I was like, damn. I was like, I didn't sign up. And so I went up to the guy and I was like, hey man, can I sign up? He's like, yeah, no. I was like, cool. Scare away the 2 fucking people in here, huh? Okay, you got it.
How long were you there watching? Like before
45 minutes, an hour. I checked on my. Oh yeah. I was there for an hour. I thought I was going up, man. I was getting it all ready in my head. I had the room planned out. I had 10 jokes about the room. I had a dog shit bag joke. Well, I had it all. You know what your brain does when you think you're going up. You start spurting jokes.
I don't know if that's too much weed, but that's definitely enough weed to be like a fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, because
Finally made it.
if you've
Achieved
done
my goal.
comedy for as long as you have, and as much as you have, you know, just like most people would know, maybe that comedy open mics can be very painful and not always pleasant to sit through, unless you like watching torture.
I think I do now.
And your
into
fucking stone ass was like, I think I'll get another soda. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh yeah, that was great. I would thought that'd be funny. I hope people enjoy how I was kind of like, but the funny thing is like I left feeling just as good as if I were successful at an open mic. I was okay. I was like, I feel okay. Like, so the point is, you don't have to get up.
Well, see, you probably did feel the most okay about, like, out of all the people that went up, which it sounds like it was a lot, like usual. You probably felt the best out of everybody because you didn't go up.
I know, I didn't go up. I didn't crash and burn. But the last time I went up there, I did really well. Like, I'm at that point where you could put me on stage and I'll figure it out. It ain't gonna be Louis C.K. for an hour. It's not, but I'll figure, and you'll laugh at me, half because I'm coming out of my ass with this. Like I've gotten better at sucking on stage, so I'm all right. I'm comfortable with sucking. I'm like, let's do it. Woo! But I forgot to sign up, so I didn't get to suck.
Were you at a hijinks mic?
No, I have not. No, I won't go that late. This was right after work. There's one that starts at 6 o'clock or 6:30. And what's nice about the Portland comic scene, since you and I have done it, they did it back then too, but they've really staggered the times. So they'll have one that starts at 6, one at 7, one at 8, if there's 4 or 5 that night. So you can get a workout in. You could get a few shows in if you wanted to. There's definitely a few people that, they got their notepads with them and they're looking at the max. They're like, they got it. They're doing it. And I'm like,
right.
Good for you. I didn't realize we'd done as much work when you and I, granted, you did a lot more work afterwards, but we put in enough work to where I can still put a mic in my hand. And with all the time I spent on phones with strangers, I've got jokes. I got it. You know what I mean? It's the same old shit I was telling before, but they're funnier now because I've gotten better. But, just confidence, just shit like that. Plus you can spin it. It's just, the thing is like, I basically thought I was out to pasture with comedy, and I don't want to like spend my life grinding it the fuck out. But it is nice to put a mic in your hand once in a while and know that you can still do it and that people enjoy it. That's pretty much where I'm at with it. If someone's like, hey man, we'd like to see you perform, be like, cool, grab a couple people with an open mind and we'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's nice to still have that, because if you don't have anything but a fucking day job, you're not going to last very long. Life sucks too hard.
That's one of the reasons. That's what we're doing here, right?
Yeah, after all the grinding out, sharing one-bedroom apartments, trying to, all the crazy shit we put up with, 2 a.m, fucking telling jokes to nobody. Here it is. This is what we still have. So that's why we took 3 weeks with software, and we're committed. Because even if you have a dream, even if it's a bad dream, you should keep following it.
Man, yeah. Speaking of recording and following dreams and all that, we were going to record last Sunday, and I was all set to record, and I looked in the backyard, and there was like 2 trees falling over, and they were about to hit a power line in my backyard, like a line from our house to the neighbor's house, and it was going to hit the house. And I called Tony. I was like, hey, Tony, I can't record. I have to cut down a tree. And Tony just thought that was the funniest thing. It's a very Oregon thing, an excuse. Like, I have to.
Well, that's what honestly, we never do any. Like, Sunday's your day. with your, your lady and everything. So I was like, when you reached out to me and it was a beautiful fucking day outside, and you're just like, hey man, I got to cut down a tree. I was like, hopefully he's getting his dick sucked. I hope he's not actually cutting down a tree. Like, just call out sick and do whatever you want.
Right.
I don't care. But he sends me pictures 3 hours later. He sends me pictures. I'm at a fucking baseball game because that's what you do when you're lonely. You get around other people. So I was sitting at a baseball game, and here I am seeing these wild ass pictures and chopping up a fucking tree. I'm like, well, hey,
Well,
Oregonian call out.
Cut down like 3 of them. It was pretty wild. Yeah,
that's nuts.
Felt like a real man. You know what I mean?
Well, I know they didn't look like giant trees or very tall. Like, they weren't like 60 footers.
To be honest with you,
I wouldn't know what to
they're
do.
not trees. They're overgrown bushes that look like trees. Like, they look like trees. If you were to look at them, you'd be like, that's a tree. But really what it is just an overgrown bush that looks like a tree. And yeah, they're like
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
power lines. I mean,
they're I think, I don't know what kind of tree they are, but whatever, bush there. But I mean, they were about 10 to 12, 15 foot. So not huge, but like,
yeah,
tall enough.
Did any critters come out?
No.
Nothing. No, like you didn't have like a squirrel, like Christmas Vacation type shit. No.
No, it wasn't that funny. That would have been a lot funnier. I want to lie and say that happened, so it would be funny, but no, it didn't. But
the gopher from Caddyshack came out of the ground and gave me the finger.
What did happen with rodents, though, in the last week is my dog Emma killed 2 moles. She killed 2 moles.
Before he goes into this story, I just want to point out that we were at a birthday dinner. At his birthday dinner, he just turned another year younger, and we were celebrating his birthday at this bitchin' old. Anyway, we were celebrating while we're fucking like eating and whatnot. He's telling this fucking story. So go ahead. I'm sorry, but preface that we're all eating a very nice dinner
at the place. Is that where I told you?
Yeah, we were all eating.
So like last week, my dog killed 2 moles, and like 2 or 3 days apart from each other. But she is crazy, man. Like I don't know if people find this interesting or not, but to me, I mean, I'm there with my dog, and I'm like, she's like, all right, so dogs, you're like, oh, dog's best friend, like love, and like you walk into the house and they're so excited to see you. They'll sit on your lap and like. You pet them and like, oh, I love you. And they roll around and they play fetch. They're murderers. My dog's a murderer. The second mole, she didn't have to kill it. She didn't have to kill it. All right, so I saw that she was about to get something, and there was a rock, and I was like, I could tell that she's trying to get whatever is underneath the rock. So I went over. And I lifted the rock up, and there was the mole on top of the dirt under the rock. She just goes, bam, gets it. And Callie's like, she's going to kill it. She's going to kill it. So I'm like, Emma, drop it. Drop it. The mole's sitting there on the front lawn, breathing. And I look at Emma, I'm like, good girl, because I'm like, I want to, like, she looks like she brings the rodents over to us. This has happened many times, like close to 10 times between moles, mice, field mice, that kind of thing. So I want to treat her like she just hit her first home run at T-ball. You know what I mean? I want to put her on my shoulder and be like, "You did it! I'm so proud of you." So I was like, "Good girl, Emma. Good girl." She looks at me, looks at Callie, looks down at the mole, grabs it, breaks it back, its back, and kills it. She didn't have to kill it. She's a murderer. All cute, fuzzy, just adorable little dogs are murderers.
Why wouldn't an animal be a murderer when it's a basic instinct of theirs and she's not on trial?
Yeah,
I'm sure she's still got treats that night.
I gave her.
Yeah. She's like, "Say I was right. I could kill and I still get what I want."
Disposed of the body. I wrapped it up in in a rug and threw it in the Hudson. I went to New York.
A rug? How big is it? His name was Steve. He had a full-time job and a family.
Let's just say I had to do some work. You know what I'm saying? It's all right.
Rolled it in a carpet. It was an old Egyptian tapestry. So I just had to say, like, I knew you were going to tell this story. I was like, I remember we were at the restaurant when you told me. At least I think, like I said, I'm getting older.
Right.
Shit just gets pushed together. But in my mind, we were at your birthday dinner, and all of you were eating very expensive, not cooked steak, and fucking, it was rough. So we go to a steakhouse for his birthday, his choice, and everyone, there's 6 of us, and I'm in the middle, kind of like, you know, in the middle of the table or whatever, and everyone orders fucking steak one way or the other. Everyone orders something. They know what they're getting. And I'm like, fish and chips, please, at a steak restaurant. Like, and they're like, guys, I basically explained I grew up in England from 12 to 16 years old. That was 92 to 96 in Europe. If you do your history, you look at your history, mad cow disease was a really big thing. And my parents basically said, we will not be eating meat on the local economy. So like English pubs and restaurants, honestly, it wasn't quite the same, even though we all know American food is fucked and nasty, but it just felt a little cleaner in America. So basically they didn't cook their beef all the way and you could get mad cow. Because of that, we cooked the living shit. Even though we didn't eat on the British economy, whenever they cooked the steak, they cooked it the living hell. Right. It stands up straight. You know what I mean? That's it. So I just felt, I was like, all that, I'm looking at everyone's plate and I'm just like, mad cow, mad cow, mad cow. Like, that's how I was looking at. You're all asking for it. But I felt like the idiot. I was like, can I have fish and chips? They're like, idiot. We just made Gorton's back here for this guy, straight out of the box. But yeah, it was funny to watch them all eat red meat and him talk about gophers dying. Yeah. That was his birthday.
Yeah, man, it was it's pretty cool just to know that I'm living in a house with a murderer. You know what I mean? Just
she's a cute murderer.
That's
cutest
what I'm saying.
murderer I've ever met.
Like, people don't want to think that their dog is just gonna like choke the life out of something, but yeah,
or watch it. Like, that's the thing. You watched it. that fucks you up, because when you look at your pet, you're like, you still see that in their eyes, in their mouth. They're like, ugh.
Well, she just she looked at us, a murder weapon. Both of us looked at the mole, grabbed it, killed it, dropped it, and then looked back at me. She just like, still love me? She was like, crack. And then I had to go get rid of it, and she just, went and took a piss and then lay down and slept in the grass. And I was like, what a fucking life. What a life. You go sharpen a toothbrush and stab someone to death and then go take a nap in the yard. You fucking maniac.
If anything, she's like, I deserve some sort of reward. I did you
some
a favor.
Kind of reward? You just took a life. You gave the soul. That's your treat.
So I want to share a quick work story with you. With work, nothing's ever fun about talking the work from home shit. That's all depressing. But I was working the venue. I always have a good venue story. Right. It always provides. When you have alcohol and music, it's going to work out. Something's going to happen. But I always get the crazy stories when I do something that, just like the rest of my life, when a split-second decision. So I've decided I was down on the first floor. The first floor of the venue is also accessible to the main bar and another little place where we have other shows. So basically, they could have been coming from anywhere to be in that bathroom in the venue. So it's probably like, I don't know, midnight or some shit, and everything's starting to shut down or wind down. The show's over. We're just cleaning up, and I'm downstairs to take a quick piss. And I was like, oh, I'll just pop in here real quick, use this bathroom. And I go in there. I walk past this dude, and I can't help it. I'm just kind of, my eyes just kind of catch something. I'm like, fuck? And I'm working security. I got the shirt on that says security. I got the microphone in my ear, so I'm like, all right, I'm on the job. So I'm looking around, this one guy in there, big tall fucker, and he's so tall that you could see his arms and everything over the urinal wall. you know, giving your piss space. So he's pissing with one hand, but he's got his fucking other hand up in his face. And I'm like, I'm taking a piss and I'm like catching this out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I go, I'm done, and he's still at it. And I'm like, I go by him and I'm like, and I just do one of these. I'm like, and just kind of stop and look. I wasn't looking at his dick. I was trying to figure out what he was doing. My man is holding his dick in one hand and pissing and scooping Coke like from out of his pocket onto the back of his thumbnail. So he's holding his dick with one hand. He's doing this. He's like, he's doing this shit. And he's still getting it in the toilet. He's like this. And I'm looking at him. I'm allowed to look. I'm security, and you're doing something stupid. So he's standing there, and he looks at me. What do you think he says? Everyone says this all the time in Portland. Every time they get caught, this is what they say.
He said,
sorry.
He said sorry. Huh? Yeah.
He says sorry. Sorry. He says to me sorry. And you know my mouth. I immediately was like, what the fuck are you apologizing for? You have your dick in one hand. You have Coke going in your nostrils with the other hand. And you haven't gotten one drop on the floor. If anything, I should be applauding you. And he literally starts laughing with his dick in his hand. He's like, oh, and his little puff of powder goes off his thumb. He's like,
oh, you had a cocaine. You had a cocaine spit take.
A little bit. I was like, he's like, oh no. I was like, look, I did my job. I got rid of the Coke. There it is. It's gone. Sorry.
But
fucking sorry.
I thought he was going to maybe offer you some or something.
I'm not your mom. I'm not disappointed in you. Yeah. I don't care.
Right. I mean,
it's a men's bathroom.
Right.
Do your thing, idiot.
Sorry.
And then he walked out all crooked and shit, like his pants were sagging. It never looks good when an old man is sagging his pants, but he was like 60. I was like, this might be your last couple of steps.
He was like,
you might die.
He was old?
Old. Like that Coke he had literally came from 1980. There's no doubt about it.
It's probably really good then.
Right? I haven't worn this shirt since 19. Holy shit.
He probably had really good Coke. I mean, it was probably really good then. It was from the 80s.
Right, exactly. It just blew $100 of Peruvian right into the mist. It was great. I was like, how does this shit keep happening to me? These are great little nuggets.
Man, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
So like I said, I could do some stand-up. I'll just tell these fucking stories. Like I got a bunch of them like that. Like the double blow job I told you about a few weeks before that.
Oh, yeah.
It was great.
Did you talk about that on here?
I think I did. An older woman. There was a show. She was being spicy. She was being very flirtatious in the venue. I was working inside the venue. She flirted with me. She came up where I was and like grinded her ass on me. So at the end of the night, I go down the set of steps I never go down and looking at the little alcove and the entrance to the old school. And she's doing the circus seal between two dudes. And I'm on. And so I hit the window and I'm like, I'm next. And then I see them like leaving the venue as I leave the venue, and then one of the guys stays with her, gets in her car, but you could tell she hadn't planned it because she's pulling shit off the front seat to get him in the car. So I know all the hustles. It's 1 a.m. You're fucking an old lady who just gave you a double BJ with your best friend that left, so you're on your way home to get crabs. I get it, but that was another thing that happened there. I love that stuff. I'm sorry, but I love that. I don't care about this normal Hallmark moment bullshit. I want to see the dirty blowjob in the back of a Buick. Like that's what I want to see. I live for that.
Who would give you a Buick anymore? I think
really
it would be like maybe a Prius, but maybe a Honda Fit. Maybe a Honda Pilot. Maybe a Pilot. Like if the person has kids, I don't know.
Tesla or some shit. But I still like the idea. But I like the idea of an old broken blowjob in the back of an old Buick from 1989. Grandma gave it to you. Life still hasn't gotten much better because you're still driving the Buick, but you're getting a blowjob in the back of a Buick. That's harder to do than in a Tesla. Like you got skill if that's happening to you in the back of a Buick. So, it's good. It comes back around.
You got real skill.
the carpet, you know, the soft
Yeah.
shit they put in the roof, you know, like in old cars that starts coming down, and that's why no one can really see you getting a blowjob in the back seat, at least not from the back, because there's this fucking
Right.
carpet, you know, this felt hanging on your head while some old lady's giving it to you. Anyway, I have fantasies.
Huh,
That's
that's
one of them.
adorable. It's real adorable, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
Speaking of fantasies.
Got one?
All right, yeah, I do. Don't tell anybody, okay?
Secret.
Don't tell anyone. This is just for us and 6 other people. No.
Shit.
Unfortunate topic. How about it, huh?
Well, I've mentioned to you before. There's 2 things. Like
Yeah.
we have the big one, but then since we're being kind of goofy, can we talk about the other one I mentioned first? All right. So this everyone who looks at the internet,
Right.
hopefully you've thought of this, but I have. Influencers, people that, you know, have the videos out. Look at me doing this. Look at me doing that. Blah blah blah. I'm getting paid. And in OnlyFans, same thing. There's usually a woman and there's someone holding the camera. So I don't know if this is an unfortunate topic or not, but I had this moment while I was, you know, watching porn. I was like, how does the camera person feel about all this?
Like, I think it all would matter, you know.
What's it?
Depending.
But in all reality, seriously, there's been clips of this. People on the internet are starting to like point that out. Like, hey, what about the damn person taking all these fucking pictures? Never mind dating someone who thinks they're an influencer. That becomes your job. There's no question about that. That's my number one fear, and why I don't want to meet anyone new is because I'm going to run into one of them. If you're even remotely attractive and you don't want to work for a living, you're a fucking influencer. So I'm, you know, and I like sluts. So, hey, you know, I'm going to go for it. I mean, I'm a sucker for that. You get your tits out. You got emotional issues. I'm in. What's up?
Right.
Oh, I'm an influencer. Like, well, I look like I'm a skinny fucker with small muscles. I look like the kind of guy that would stand there and film my hot chick doing something with me not even mentioned. Like, I could be that guy. I won't be that guy, but I think about the people who are. And I just feel for you. If you're watching this, I know you don't get any attention, and I'm sorry. You're famous for something no one even knows that you do, and I feel for you. And if your wife is an OnlyFans, I'm laughing at you, but thanks for holding the camera straight and getting all the good angles, because I come a lot quicker when you get the right angle. But I feel for you.
Maybe probably most of them. There might be a few cucks that aren't wanting to be cucks, but I bet you a lot of them are just like, no, I'll watch my lady get fucking pounded or whatever, you know. They like it, they get off on it, you know, whatever. But there's a lot of like influencers, not OnlyFans, sex related, that have production teams. In fact, a lot of them get hired by the production team to be an influencer for their company. You know,
right? You're basically it's guerrilla marketing and turning yourself into an advertiser.
You're doing it in that way, the new way. You know, like that. Everyone that like, unfortunately, people just like I don't like subscribe to his channels, but like Mr. Beast, that guy. Yeah, like
he's a fucking. He's a national treasure now. He's a business.
I mean, he has a team that works for him. You know, like a production team. Yeah, like he's not over there putting together the tripod and then walks over there and clicks, you know, end when the video's done. Like he has a production team, and I'm the people that have crazy amount of followers and get paid by YouTube and shit like that and have sponsors, they all have big production teams. But yeah, there's still a lot of people like us that
we're on the bottom, right? So there's levels to this shit, and they work their way up that level. Like I'm sure Mr. Beast did start by pushing record for himself. Everyone has to start there if you're going to become someone in this new industry of basically becoming an advertiser. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm sorry. To get on film every damn day to make a video just so you hope that a sneaker company, a cookie company, or some other companies, like you have enough followers, we're turning you into an advertiser. That's what you really are. Like, I don't think that's that fucking awesome. I don't want to. I hate working for corporate America. Don't get me wrong, but the last thing I want to do is wake up every morning and be like, I'm going to fake it about these cookies.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. And I'm not going to find something I'm passionate about to talk about every fucking day. Or go to these cool festivals where they paid us to be here. Target paid us to be here. Oh my God. You're going to fake drink all day long? You're working. And some idiot at some point has to film you do this. And I feel for that idiot. I really do. And I'm not saying you're getting laid. Maybe you're just a friend. But at some point, you're holding a camera for someone who hopes to be famous one day. There's definitely that group of people trying to get to the next level. And to me, it's just like I'm sitting there looking. I'm like, what about the camera person? What do they get out of this? And sometimes you'll see clips on Instagram of people with OnlyFans pages trying to get you into their OnlyFans. They're trying to coerce you down that path. And they'll be like, this is my husband. Because of my new business, he doesn't work anymore. Wifey takes care of everything, all this shit. And I'm like, no, his name is Tripod. And that's what he does. He takes all the, I mean, it's almost like, I had a good business, but she's making millions showing off her snatch. So now we're just doing this, and it's like, but what pride do you have, David? Like, it's literally like, Harlan Williams in Half Baked. I'm somebody's bitch. That's it. That's your t-shirt, baby. Wear it. It's you with a tripod, and it says, I'm somebody's bitch.
He's probably like, well, I might be somebody's bitch, but I got a bunch of new jet skis. I got a trailer. Got like a big house. I mean, that wouldn't do it for me. That wouldn't do it for me. I'm just saying that's probably what he thinks.
All right.
Or maybe we're...
You have to think that way. You have to think in terms of goods and services. If you're letting your wife show her hole over the whole world while they got a long line of bulls coming in there to plow through your woman so that you guys can make another month of rent and have jet skis and whatnot. Like, when does that not get into your psyche? And you're like, I don't want to fucking do this.
I think a lot of people that are on OnlyFans, like, maybe like their person they're fucking is their husband,
Some fake it, but then there's a lot of them out. They're not even just on OnlyFans, but like whatever. There's a lot of people out there that in the OnlyFans world or the Reddit world where they're doing porn, amateur porn. It starts out there's a rhythm to this. It starts out real fucking small. The woman starts posting, little things, a little bit of this, maybe feet. Maybe it'll start out with feet. And no, we're talking about feet. Some people, maybe men and women, but definitely women, get paid to just post pictures of their feet, and they do really fucking well. And I get it, but at one point you're like, well, maybe I'll take the picture up to the kneecap, and the next thing you know, you got your vagina on OnlyFans. It happens. You start out small, and the next thing you know, you're blowing the whole neighborhood because you got to keep getting those likes. I'm not even making this up. You have to keep yourself up there. You have to keep getting new content. That seems exhausting to me. For it to become a job. To be like, listen, we got to pick the kids up from school. You have got to get this. You got to bust this nut. Tyler, let's go. We got to pick up the kids. You've got to come in, my wife. I have to get the minivan to go pick up the kids from school. Like, that's a weird way to live to me, to be like, how does that fuck with your head?
Right.
It's got to fuck with your head. I don't know. I feel for my influence, whatever you're called, your camera people. I feel for you. Unless you're getting paid and not married to that person,
well, I'm sure
I feel for you.
On a big level, they're all getting paid. Like, on a high level. Like, they're all hired. You know what I mean? Like, if they're a big production studio, they're all...
Well, I'm not talking about those who made it. Because when you make it, to me, making it is what you're describing. The final result. Where, like, someone like Mr. Beast, who's not selling his vagina on the internet, obviously... He just had enough followers, was playing the right game. There's a couple people that got in when the getting was good. They got there first, just like everything else in this fucking world. If you're the first couple people to do it, you succeed, and then the rest of you cheat off your idea and make a little bit of your crumbs. That's how this shit always works. So people like Mr. Beast got in when the getting was good. Now he's got a production team because he's Mr. fucking Beast. He can give out money to people. Here's what's funny. He gives out a check for $10,000, films it, makes $50,000 on the video. It's all a write-off. Of course he has money to give away. You're literally giving it to him by giving him the likes. It's just rinse and repeat. He just
I really like what makes me mad about him is that he doesn't look like a Mr. Beast. Yeah, he just looks like if anything, one of us looks like Mr. Beast. He looks like just a guy.
You know who we look like? We look like fucking Mike and Sully from Monsters Inc.
Yeah,
like that's us. We're scary creatures.
We're fucking the hell. Yeah,
yeah, he's fine. He's just a jelly bean. There's nothing. I like how people have tough names on the internet, and you see them, and it's like, the fuck's wrong with you? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna just pinch your nipples. I'm not scared of you. Like, you're not a beast. What are you a beast at? Right. Making cookies? But yeah, so once you've made it to that point, great. But the people grinding it the fuck out to try and get to a point where someone's like, "We're gonna hire you, and you're gonna have your own camera crew. Your husband can stay at home now. You don't have to worry about all this shit." But those people in that certain point that haven't made it there yet, they're either having someone take their pictures at like Coachella. That just happened. There was a bunch of people laying on the lawn. But what was neat was someone was smart enough to take a picture of the people taking the pictures, and that's what spawned this thought. It's like click, and then you see all these people lined up in front of all the people laying in front of the Coachella sign. It's like a whole nother set of fucking people. They're like, I came to Coachella and I have to do this for 3 days. Like, this is what I have to do. And then the pictures you take are never good enough because the person who's going to post it is going to bitch and moan, right? So it's like, oh my God. And then, so they're literally criticizing your fucking work. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems emotionally and mentally exhausting to me. To be that person. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to a show with you for 3 days and take your fucking picture. Why would I do that?
You would have to be paid. You have to be paid.
Like, come on, get it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel for you. If you do that, I hope you're having fun. If not,
speaking of running away, the other unfortunate topic, you know, I'm not trying to sound insensitive when I say that after you're about to hear it, but it's a little fucked up.
No, I like that. It's a little goofier. A little fucked up, but this is more fucked up.
So, this is something I don't know that Tony knows a bit more about it than I do, but it's facial recognition and that's happening in China, where if you could explain it, because I don't know.
So here's what spawned all this. Just like anything else, I saw a clip on the fucking internet of people in China eating their dinner at a restaurant outside, just like we would here in America. Beautiful fucking evening. And the Chinese police are coming by with their cell phones. Without permission, they are putting their phones in your face and scanning your face against their database to see if you're wanted for any crimes. While you're literally just eating your fucking dinner. No warrant, no questions, no permission required. They're walking up, scanning your faces to see if you're a fucking criminal. And they can do that because they have, it's called digital ID. Now, I'm sure y'all have heard whispers, just in the back of your mind, heard people say this shit. If people always say crazy things about control and governments, they're laying it down. There apparently is no cash money in China. It's all digital currency. It's all based upon this digital ID. Now, the digital ID in China is much more restrictive in that it seems like they're monitoring whatever you're up to. And if they catch you doing something stupid, your social whatever score goes down. And if you fuck up too bad, you can't buy groceries and shit like that. So I looked at a couple of different videos just to, start digging in a little bit. And that's basically it. If your social score goes to shit, you can't use your digital money to buy something or, whatever the fuck, feed yourself, essentially. Worst case scenario. So that's fucking horrible. It has nothing to do with the idea of freedom that we live on over here. But of course, lo and behold, here in America, what do we have? Real ID. Now, it's not digital. It's on its way. That's the real IDs that you're getting now. Eventually, you're going to go digital. The same fucking idea. Yeah, we're trying to get rid of cash money, not us, but our government's trying to get rid of it. So long story short, this is what's on the way. But I just couldn't imagine any of us sitting down and someone scanning our faces in America
Oh
and us
yeah,
being
I
okay
feel
with
like
that.
just knowing, you're knowing your own Americans, there would be a bit of an uprising, and maybe there was in China. I don't know. I'm a bit of an ignorant person, and I'm the first one to tell you that I should know more things than I do, and I don't know, but I do know that I do know Americans, and I do know that Americans, would be be very pissed off about it, and very up in arms, literally with guns, and so I don't know how
Right.
well, and maybe that's why it's not a thing yet here in America, because the government knows there would be a hell of an uprising.
Right, but this is definitely something it's not impossible, and it's only a matter of time because all crazy technology usually starts in China or over in those countries. Like any technology that we've had,
Right.
they've come up with. So it's going to be on its way.
Let's put it this way, like they it's probably on its way, and it's not like out of the line of sight to think that could happen. But who's to say that it's not already happening and we're not knowing that it's happening? You know what I mean?
So that's the second point I wanted to make is that a lot of people would say in America we've already been being monitored for fucking years. Ever since like you remember Edward Snowden, and he was one of the people that actually knew about all the crazy shit. He's one of the people who wrote the fucking programs to spy on us. Except he didn't know they were going to spy on us and use it against their own people. He just helped invent the shit, and it was like, wait a minute, you're doing what with that? Oh, you're actually spying on my wife through her laptop? What the fuck? So yeah, I'm sure China started there too. They're probably just spying on everybody. And then they're like, well, you know what? We're going to get rid of money. You'll just have digital coins or whatever the fuck, just like Mario or some shit. And if you fuck up, well, you won't be able to use them.
The stuff about
That's crazy.
China, that seems like that's a Black Mirror episode. That show, Black Mirror. That seems like that's what an episode of Black Mirror is. Like, I swear to God, it's like they saw the show Black Mirror and they're like, that's a good idea.
But what's crazy to me is that these governments know they can get away with it way ahead of time, or they wouldn't even try it. Because they did get away with it. Those people were just sitting there calmly eating their food. They weren't jumping up, slapping the fucking phones out of pigs' hands or anything like that. They were eating dinner. It's just another fucking Tuesday.
Right.
And it's like, what is it? Once again, I guess as I get older, I think about feelings a lot. Like, the fuck does that feel like?
It's probably terribly invasive. It's probably just demeaning and just being like, and like in a way of like, obviously technical difficulties happen, and it can happen on a greater scale. Like, like we couldn't figure out how to use the microphone yesterday, and all of a sudden we could use it today. Like, what if that sort of thing happens on a greater scale, and you're sitting there thinking you're having a great time eating with your family, and then a fucking cop walks by and goes, oh, you're wanted for murder, but really there was a technical difficulty, and you're not that person. Yeah. And then you get hauled away in front of your family. Right. Maybe you're thinking that. That's probably a terrible fucking thought.
And what's disgusting to me about all this is the reason that a lot of this technology exists. It started out with, billionaires giving idea people money. And then the idea works in some cases, and they create new technology, and then they sell that technology to the public. They make a shitload of money back. They pay back the person who gave them the money to begin with. And then now they have stock in the company. But here's the thing. They're using all the money that we're paying for the technology now. So we're giving them our money because they created this technology. With that money, they're finding out how to fuck you with it. That's your money. And they're like, well, wait a minute. We have so much money. We can do more things with this technology. Well, what can we do? Well, first thing, we can spy on them. And we could sell all this to the fucking government because no one has more money than the government because, well, they have the public's money. So they'll spend the public's money. We'll spend the public's money on fucking the public. Like, come on. What the fuck is going on? I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm waking up from the dream and I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Dude, I have to say something. When you do that, your hair does amazing things.
I know. It looks really good. I'm going to do this live and everyone's going to pay me $10 a piece to see it. It's going to be great. Fuck off. This is not you. You're good. But I'm sorry. I can't help it. I'm one of those people that thinks about that kind of shit. It drives me nuts. I hate people getting fucked over. That's the truth. That's probably why I don't like sales. Like, do I have to buy this? No, you don't. You don't have to buy any of this. Actually, I'll just hang up. Like, that's me. I back off real easy because I don't like making people uncomfortable beyond making our show.
Right.
So I look at that and I'm like, imagine the cop. Imagine that's your fucking job. Not only are you, when you're sitting around eating noodles, you're getting your face scanned like everyone else, but when you're not and you're at work, you're scanning faces. The fuck does that do to your head?
Yeah.
That's your job. That's it. I don't want to fucking do this. Nobody wants to do that. So what the fuck? And you know they're making the public's money. They're getting paid with their money.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard. Yeah. It's so funny. But it's just like, dude, they've really got us clocked. The fucking rich and powerful, wow. They're not using any of their money. We're using our own money to fuck ourselves. It's really crazy. And here, it's just, you're trying to sit there and eat your fucking noodles, and they're just trying to get you any way they can. It's nuts to me. I mean, yeah, great. Maybe you catch a couple of criminals, but it seems pretty fucking invasive to literally have people scanning your face while you're eating. There's no privacy. Right. There's no nothing. No wonder people sit in their houses all the time. It's just that is unfortunate to me. That is very fucking unfortunate.
Oh yeah,
that's coming.
Well, I mean, I could say hopefully it doesn't, but it already is in a way. I mean,
well, cops have webcams on them. I'm sure they could doctor those things just to scan everyone's fucking face.
Well, think about it this way: like when I open up my computer, I put in a password, or there's a little place for my fingerprint. Right? I never do that.
Gotcha.
But where does that fingerprint go? Digitally, like digitally, it could go somewhere. You know what I mean? Like everywhere goes something. Somewhere.
I'm convinced there's a file on every fucking single one of us, and every time you add a new piece of information, it's added to your file.
Like, I mean,
why wouldn't they do that? What do you think? I mean, that's what these fucking nerds are up to. It's like, what are they coming up with? They've already invented all the solutions to our problems. Well, no, they haven't. They're going to figure out how to fuck you now. It's like, what? I mean, the Snowden thing got me. I was just like, this guy's admitting it. Him and his girlfriend actually became Russians. Like, that's how bad it got. You know? Otherwise, Obama and everyone was just going to, tear out his fucking fingernails. So it was like, yeah, that's fucking crazy. Like, it is nuts. Like, I used to think I was dumb, but I'm looking into too much stuff now. And I'm here to tell you, people, don't do this. Don't think. Stop. Just turn it off. Take your head off your body. Throw it down the street. Because if you think, you're just going to get sad. There's nothing you can do about this shit. It is crazy. And for me to be thanked for my service for being a veteran and fighting for freedom, I'm like shaking my head like, I don't know about all that. Like, sorry, I mean, I had fun. Luckily, I had fun shooting weapons.
I mean, that
freedom?
Topic is a different topic, but like, I'll just say this: like, I didn't go and do that like you did, and I'm thankful for that you and other people that have done that. But I feel like it's evident fighting for our freedom. That's just like looking at a thing of juice and go, oh, it's only 20% actual real juice. Like saying we're fighting for our freedom. That's just a sticker. That's just a logo. Bullshit. That's just a logo that says, oh, it's okay to do what we're doing because we're fighting for our freedom. It's just like you got to know when you go to the grocery store, when you see some chicken, right, or beef, it says organic. It's not organic. They just say that. It's just a selling point, right? Fighting for our freedom was just a selling point. And I'm not trying to sound ignorant because I didn't serve. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm not trying to sound ignorant. I'm just saying that's just how I feel.
Right. But for people that believe in that shit, that believe in America's a free country and all that horse shit, and for those of us who fought, and people tell us that still to this day, they remind you every time they thank you for your service, they're reminding you that they believe that you fought for their freedom to be in this country, to be free from criminal shit like spying on you. And so to me, it's when someone thanks me for something in my head, I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm not really sure what you're thanking me for anymore. The idea, you're thanking me for the idea. And you're thanking me for all the people that actually did it. But the thing is like, I'm sad for everybody because I'm like, this isn't freedom. This is fucking crazy. Like, this isn't at all. We're not getting near peace. We're not working our way towards peace. We're working our way towards chaos. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, how much oppression can you fucking take before you snap? So like I said, it is, to me, it is unfortunate. It's like, there's no respect there whatsoever. I mean, they're using all this data against you to find the criminals, but they're also finding shit they don't need, like your personal information, and clicking on your fucking videos they shouldn't be looking at. And everything you upload to Google or Apple can be looked at and is being looked at. And if you work for one of those fucking companies and you're a half-wit like most of us are, you get bored and you start looking up porno you shouldn't be looking at and looking at a whole bunch of shit you shouldn't be looking at. But you're doing it because you work for fucking Google, and you can because you're a human, so you're doing it. So nothing is private that we're doing. And now it's getting so bad that they're actually taking cameras and sticking them in your fucking face. It's like, Jesus Christ. And here I am selling the device. Right. Freedom my ass. Sorry. Yeah, I feel for you, man. If someone sticks a phone in your face, just flash your tits.
Like, check these out, huh?
I got nipple ring. Yeah. Put your shirt over your head.
You want to see two criminals? Check these out. Huh?
I'm telling you, hey. That's my solution here. I don't want to just give out problems and make everyone sad. There's a solution to every problem. That's your solution. If someone scans your face, just go, yeah. Put your shit over your face, show them your boobies, and get out of there.
We leaned into the unfortunate part of the name of the show, didn't we?
I hope everybody's okay with it, but it's something people to think about. I mean,
this shit doesn't always have to be funny. It's just it is what it is, and
we're still laughing.
Hey, you got it.
They may not be. Well, listen. Some of my favorite comedians, I know you know this, but the true art in comedy is to take a bad fucking subject and try to shine some light on it so it becomes more palatable to deal with. Hence the idea for our show. Take hard topics, hopefully goofy topics if we can find any. But so we got a little serious on you, but whatever, y'all love it. Yeah. We get to talk about music now, so you made it. Yeah. Thanks for listening to the unfortunate shit that's coming your way.
And the song that we landed on was by Thin Lizzy, and it was Romeo and the Lonely Girl, correct?
Yeah. That's right. Yes, absolutely. And I think that's from their album Jailbreak. Is that the title of the album? Yes. So I picked that. Honestly, I said on the show a week ago, whatever. I was in a record store looking for a second record, and that album was just literally in my face. Had to have it. So I came home and I listened to the whole album, because when you buy a record, you can't just pick the songs. So that's the one thing that's cool about a vinyl record, is you end up hearing whatever's on each side, usually. So I found Romeo and the Lonely Girl, and I never heard it before. And the guitar playing is beautiful, but the words just got me, because it's basically for anyone who seems like, like you fall in love, but you move away, that kind of thing. And maybe you do that a lot. And I kind of identified with that in my history, if you will, of moving and meeting people and moving and meeting people. So, but it's a rock, the whole, there's a rock band, but it's almost like I don't know how to explain it, but to me, it's like a singable, it's something that you want to sing in the car, but it's also kind of a sad concept. Like he takes kind of like bad relationship situations a little bit and makes them kind of like palatable. In a few of the songs, he talks about that. He says like, I leave and I always come back to you, or like, I'm lonely. I meet a lot of people. I set them up and then the relationships fail. Like, but it kicks, it sounds great. Like he's talking about. That's what I like about it. Like, oh, Paul Romeo, and the chorus. Like, I just want to sing that shit all the time. Like sitting all on his ownio. I love that. It sounds so cheesy and goofy, but it's like Romeo and Onio. Like, I can't help it. Like, dude, how much coke did it take to come up with that? Was it one thumbful, or how many thumbfuls was it?
It makes me feel like that's like a type of noodle that Chef Borodie would like put out, like ravioli Onio.
Onios by Chef Borodie.
Yeah.
Cheesy Onios.
I don't know why that's where I went, but it was.
No, I like it. So what do you think of the tune?
It's a really good song. It's a song I've heard a lot of times. They're a great band, first of all. They're a legendary band.
Yeah.
I don't think they have ever put out anything that didn't sound like them, that wasn't good, in my opinion. And I think the song is an awesome song from a great record. And I think like what you said is true of being like taking like heartbreak and making it palatable and making it listenable, and you could sing along to it. So I think that's really cool because, I mean, I think everyone knows some sort of heartbreak, especially when it comes to being like a romantic heartbreak. Even if there's someone that's never been romantic with a person, you still know that heartbreak of not being romantic with someone. So I feel like that's fucked up, but I feel like that's still relatable. I think it's relatable to anyone that's alive on the planet.
Right.
Yeah, it's just about heartbreak,
right.
And I think that's it's important, and I think that's it's cool that when someone can make it palatable, and yeah, it's a kick out,
right.
It's a kick-ass song. It's great.
Well, I mean, and a little background on the band.
Mm-hmm.
They're from Ireland. The lead singer, it says in the bio that he was a black gentleman, and that was a rare thing in Ireland. So right out of the gate, like when they became a band, people were noticing them. And I hope I remember all this shit, but correct me if I'm wrong. The lead singer is also the lead guitar player.
He plays guitar. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I'm sorry, man, but his vocals match his riffs. Like, to me, like the clever shit the hooks that they wrote, or whoever, like, it seems like a lot of those hooks that were written, those guitar riffs came from the same place. Like, I love some of I can hear it in my head right now, just up and down, just so. If he's not singing, it's like doing the same thing with the guitar. Just one to the other. I know a lot of bands do that, but I just feel like he wrote the lyrics and then he wrote the same feelings. He wrote the fucking guitar riff. You could just tell he was in that place. Yes. It's just so like, God damn, dude. And Romeo, of all things, Romeo and Juliet, the most romantic fucking screwed up love story of all time. It's like, fucking A. And then you took something very serious and very like English and put Onio. It just fucks me up. I can't help it.
Yeah.
Romeo. You made it all like fun, like playful. Like, who uses it? It just fucks me up. Onio. I need that on my chest. I want Onio. Like, Onio. Tonio Onio. That's me, baby. Yeah. You take something like that and you make it with a goofy play on words like that. You take some of the seriousness out of heartbreak in that song. I thought it was just, maybe I'm nuts or smoking way too much dope, but that really got me. I was like, yeah, great album. The whole album's amazing. Seriously, like Jailbreak and all the other shit that's on there. Not a bad song on the record if you like the band, in my opinion. But yeah, phenomenal.
I have one of their vinyls. I don't have that one, but we have one of their records. To
me, that's a must-have. That has everything on it that you heard on the radio, and then not heard on the radio. But damn, dude, the guitar playing, all that, great fucking band. And I always wondered to myself, why the hell aren't they, honestly, on tour? And that doesn't seem like they were even a band that long.
No, not that long. I mean, they put out a few records, but the singer, he died. I don't know what year. I would assume it'd be the late 70s or early 80s, I think.
Yeah, I think it was. Yep. You got the time frame right. I don't remember all the facts, but sure. He passed away from a drug overdose. Like, so many. Jesus Christ. There's a band out there like that doesn't have one member that either passed away or was replaced.
Yeah, if you're a band for that long, especially, it's like.
Well, and at that time frame too, the coke was fucking huge. You go from weed to coke, 60s, 70s, weed, acid, coke. It all just happened right through. And then some of the best goddamn music Came out at the same time. Coincidence? No, cocaine makes wonderful music
It's a
sometimes.
hell of a
That's
drug,
all it
man.
is.
Hell of a drug.
No, serious. Yeah. It's a hell of a quote, but yeah, you ain't wrong. Yeah. Brought to you by
Hey.
cocaine from Colombia.
Um,
I mean, can we thank
I
Pablo
think we
Escobar?
should.
I
We
don't
should
know.
go up there
Should
and
we?
shake his cold dead hand, and you know, be
Yeah.
like, thank you, for making so many things popular. Peeing, doing coke off your finger, off your thumb. Yeah,
Keeping it
that's
underground.
great. Good job.
Fucking hardcore.
If you were alive, I would say, don't kill me. But you're dead.
Papa Pablo. That's him. Papa Pablo looking out for everybody. He knew. He was like, listen, if I pump cocaine into America, we're going to get some damn good music. You know, I wonder if he became like, I wonder seriously if he's like, if he put 2 and 2 together, he's like, damn, have y'all checked out the shit that's coming out of like Miami right now? Like where all my drugs are landing? Like, this is good shit. I invented disco, motherfuckers. Like,
well,
and no one's thanking me. You just want to kill me. What
for
the fuck?
disco, I don't know if I would thank him. There's a lot of disco I'd be like,
I was kidding. I'm fucking kidding. Disco, no one should be thanked for disco. Like,
so
it's funny now. I mean, it's cool, but I mean, it's we all make fun of it.
Cocaine was very popular in the in the rock and roll scene, so that's fine.
Oh, seriously, yeah, absolutely. That's a whole nother hour of show we could do right there. But obviously, it took out the lead singer. But before it took out the band and ended them, they cranked out some amazing fucking tunes. I like Thin Lizzy. I always felt like they were a band that probably opened for a lot of the top tier bands when they were around. They were probably a very popular opener for like Ozzy. I don't know, whoever was killing the scene at that time. I feel like they were just one step below. They probably got one more record out. They would have been, rock gods like Kiss or something like that. But they just didn't have enough time. They lost the lead singer. But I think with time,
that's interesting to think about because in my head, I already thought they were, but they maybe
I never. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just didn't. When you talk about big bands, like you got AC/DC, Kiss, Thin Lizzy's just like, I don't know if it's to me, it's like just below.
I don't
maybe
know.
When
I think of Thin Lizzy, and maybe, like I said, it could be personal. When I think of Thin Lizzy, I go Thin Lizzy, and then all those other bands. And maybe that's just because that I like them more. Like, I mean,
you're a nice fucking guy.
You brought up Kiss. If you wanted to listen to Kiss in particular, you should just listen to Thin Lizzy. Because Thin Lizzy is just Kiss that washed their face and played better music. That's all. Like, if you want to be real, Kiss only had a couple good songs, and they put on a hell of a show. They don't have a whole lot of good music.
No.
Like, music? Not a lot of good.
No, you're not
just
wrong.
Just a really crazy good show.
As far, I guess, the way I should say this is that from a numbers standpoint, from money-wise and albums, that's where they fall. They didn't get to be around long enough to crank out 1 or 2 more good records to become official rock gods with platinum albums and all that bullshit. I know they sold the fuck out of Jailbreak, but I'm just saying, like, they just needed a little bit more time to solidify themselves. Because even if you listen to classic rock, you always hear their 2 top songs, and then you have like Aerosmith with like 10 top songs. Yeah. Just my point, they're a little bit longer. They would have been cemented as rock gods. And with those vocals, that band, that guitar playing, they earned it because the guitar riffs alone were amazing. Like anyone would kill to have that in their band. The lead singer was a fucking unicorn of sorts with talents that he had. And obviously when he passed, that was the band. Right. That was it. But if he had a little bit more time, I feel like the talent that person possessed could have like Santana could have kept cranking shit out.
Right.
Definitely. Maybe nothing better than what they've made, but you would still keep hearing their name on the radio a lot. But in any case, I thought they kicked ass. I'm glad we got to talk about them. So the band is Thin Lizzy, and the song we're talking about is Romeo and the Lonely Girl, and that is on the album Jailbreak. The song's 4 minutes. Please take a few and just listen to it. See what the hell we're talking about. It sounds amazing. You have a heart and a head. I think you'll connect.
All right, now it's time to spin the wheel and choose next week's song. Yeah.
So while he does the Vanna White part of the show and gets the wheel ready.
That's a really good compliment. I've always wanted to be referred to as her. So thank you.
I promised you I would, and I finally made it happen. All right. I like your numbers, man. Did you read?
Yeah,
them?
I did.
They look
I
bold.
pressed really hard with the pen.
As long as you don't go through the paper. All right. Yeah. So here we are, people. We did get another music suggestion, not even on purpose. A friend of mine sent me a song, and I was like, great, we're sticking it on the wheel. So there you go. Don't send me a music recommend. I might just take it and put it up here. So we have two empty spots. So those are spin agains. Yep. Is that right, Alex? Okay. So in number 1, we have Fist City by Loretta Lynn. That's Loretta Lynn. Fist City, number 1. Number 2, More Human Than Human by White Zombie, before Rob went on his own. Number 3 is Tupac, Only God Can Judge Me. Number 4 is An Empty Space. Number 5 is Melvins, Working the Ditch. If you care about the Melvins, hopefully you've caught their new record. This is from it. Number 6 is 16 Horsepower with Stacked Cloth and Ashes.
Flat cloth and ashes.
Okay, but is that the... And then what's Seen What... Sorry, I have down Seen What I Saw. That's the album?
The name of the song is Seen What I Saw.
Okay, thank you. Yep, so 16 Horsepower. The song is Seen What I Saw. And I guess the album is Stacked Cloth and Ashes, but you just got to put in 16 Horsepower, Seen What I Saw, if we land on that one. Anyway, number 8 is Poor Eeyore with Flying. Yes. Number 9, We Don't Talk About Bruno from the Enchanto soundtrack. That was Alex's idea. Just kidding. And then number 10 is Sharon Jones with Pass Me By.
Number 10 is Sharon Jones. Got it. And for Poor Eeyore, you said Flying, right? Flying. Okay.
Yes, Flying.
Perfect.
So our empty spots are 4 and 7. If we land on that, we spin again.
Got it. All right.
Do it.
Dreams are going to happen.
I always close my book after I tell them to spin the wheel, and then I'm like, oh, shit. Number 2. So now number 2 is More Human Than Human by White Zombie. Hot shit. So if you're going to listen to this song, roll your windows down before you start it and make sure you're around a lot of people, because it opens with porn sounds. I love porn sounds. Anyway.
More Human Than Human by White Zombie. Got it. More Human.
That's right. That's the song. So listen to that, and that's what we're going to talk about in our next episode, along with what other crazy shit we can come up with between then and now. Thanks for listening to our crazy shit, and he'll tell you how to work
on your knees, bitch. Sorry.
Fucking great. No, it was great. This is why we hang out. It's fucking great. Like, that wasn't scripted. Yeah. It was beautiful.
It was on my personal notes. Something I've always wanted to say.
On your motherfucking hands and knees.
You could suggest a single song from an album, from a band, on our Instagram account, Titfu. And you could direct message us that, or you could go on the YouTube on the most recent episode, and in the comment section you could do that. And also, just a reminder, we are on Spotify, and we have 2 episodes currently out on Spotify. We have about 150 something total episodes on YouTube, including the 2 that are on Spotify. So please, we have a lot of stuff, a lot of episodes, a lot of material for you to listen to. And with that being said, thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.